Okay, recording. All right. And also, I can wait, hold on. All right. So today we are getting the opportunity to talk with Jim Bergren, who is an account representative at a Fortune 100 company that does industrial. And how did you describe it again, Jim?
It's a building technology.
Building
company.
technology. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And today, so Jim went through the CPSP, about 2 or 3 months ago now. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I finished up in April, so it's been a few months.
Yeah, time is flying by.
Yeah.
And so Jim is gracious enough to share some of his experience in the CPSP to help some of you who are watching this and thinking about enrolling and making that decision, to kind of give you a bit of an idea of his experience in the program. So we're going to walk through a couple of quick questions aimed to do just that. So Jim, would love to hear, how would you describe your experience, just your overall experience in the CPSP?
Absolutely. Well, my overall experience, I guess to summarize, was very, very positive with the CPSP. I really felt like it was dedicated toward making me a better salesperson, not necessarily just giving me, the tactics that you need, though there was an element of that to go and meet with a customer where, hey, say this, say that, we're going to go through closes. It was a lot more about, how do you show up to a customer? What do you do in your own head so that you can help influence other people's emotional states and step them into confidence with you, so that you're affecting a sale that helps them do what they need to do and really ultimately makes you better at communicating with anybody.
I love that. So I know this isn't one of the questions that we talked about, but so how would you say it has hard skills, and also, because that's soft skills, right? Soft skills, how you're showing up, how you're bringing your energy. So you'd say that it kind of trains on soft skills as well as hard skills.
Absolutely. So from the hard skill perspective, the CPSP gave us, tips and tools for sending proposals, for how do you address objections from a lot of customers. I know a lot of sales people, they always are kind of scratching their head like, oh man, this guy gave me a great objection, I didn't know what to say. Well, it kind of comes up with their 7, techniques for handling objections that you go through. And then as well on the soft skills, getting into an ultimate performance state before you go into a meeting so that you're showing up confidently. That confidence when you're talking to somebody really enables them to come along with you where you're trying to take them, to even setting visions and becoming who you need to be inside that kind of matches the reality that you're learning.
Yes, love it. Because that influencing starts on the inside. It really does.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what were some of the immediate impacts of going through the program?
Well, I'd say, immediately, even before finishing the program, I was able to, kind of eliminate those pre-meeting jitters, right? And that was by going through a vision, focusing on planning every customer interaction, and then really, kind of helping me turn my mind around from those aren't jitters to, hey, that's excitement. You're going to go kill this sales call with this customer, and you're really going to help them find a solution that they really need. So from a short-term perspective, I mean, just even understanding how your body language changes with a customer, just making those little tweaks where you're walking out of that meeting going, man, that felt way better than it did, before I started the CPSP.
Love it. Love it. So how to leverage your physiology and the psychology of understanding like what's going on in my own mind before I go into that meeting, and how to leverage that. Awesome.
Exactly.
What have been some of the longer term impacts that you've experienced like after the program?
Wow. So, like we said in my intro, I work for a Fortune 100 company. I think first of all, the desire to show my leaders that I'm willing to commit on a daily basis for a fairly extended period of time to improving myself, and then them seeing how that kind of demeanor in my, sales career has changed. I was selected one of 20 people in this large organization to be on an advisory council for the vice president of my organization. Owner sales is what we call it. And so that's incredible. There's thousands of sales reps in my company, and to be kind of identified as one of those people, I definitely directly attribute that to some of the things I learned in the CPSP.
Love it. And that was post CPSP. How long after?
It was post CPSP. I finished the CPSP in April, and at the beginning of July, I got the request, hey, we'd like you to come be a part of this opportunity. So, and again, even taking what I learned with the CPSP to go approach that, it doesn't necessarily everything have to be customer facing, that the skills that you gain from the CPSP. Some of that is just how do you approach the whole world, right? How do you approach your relationships at home? How do you approach your own fitness and health, to all kind of create this comprehensive person to help you become who you want to show up in the world as.
I like it. Influence is not just to the client or prospect. It's to colleagues, management, friends, family, the whole deal. So
Absolutely.
Awesome. So for an individual salesperson who's likely watching this thinking, is this worth my time? And is this worth my financial investment? And their goals are most likely, I want to improve my skill set in sales. I want to be able to close more deals, have more conversations, and move more of those conversations to a situation of influence, a win-win situation, as we call it in the program. And also potentially to be a bit of a resume builder, or even to help them get into a sales position. What would you say to that person?
Well, I'd say that my personal philosophy is that there's, that investing in yourself is always worth it, right? So being able to show up and say, hey, I've got a credential from a national organization that I have this skill set is huge. And then even if you're in a current sales role, for the tuition that the CPSP cost, that's only a few more sales and you've made that up, and then you're off and running. And I promise, I've seen it myself, that, that payback time was months for the tuition versus what I've increased in my earnings. So totally worth it for anybody.
Love it. And that's a beautiful thing about sales. The thing that I love about sales is, performance based. When we perform better, when we make more leveraged use of the same amount of time, make more money.
Absolutely.
Can't complain about that. And final question, would you recommend this program to a sales leader looking to invest in their team? Because I know you had a lot of conversation with your kind of direct management on, first of all, enrolling in this, and then the idea of, what it might look like to bring a team in.
I would definitely recommend this program to any sales leader. What I would say is that it takes a lot of commitment from the individual sales rep that's going to be going through it, right? You have to show up every day for 45 days and put in the work, right? Otherwise, you're not going to get it back. And so what I would challenge sales leaders to do is to say, is present the opportunity to everybody, and then watch and see, who's gonna go through it and put in the time. And those are the people that you as a sales leader want to focus on as well, because they're the people that are really gonna follow through for you.
Love it. And actually, one final bonus question is, how have you seen this going through the CPSP impact like your sales conversation, and performance?
Yeah. So I think a lot of sales is about confidence, right? And so being able to step into a sales role and be a lot more confident, for me, bringing that confidence has brought me opportunities that I don't necessarily think I would have known what to do with before the CPSP that I can, I'm in the process of pursuing. And I have a longer sales cycle than most, a 6 to 9 month sales cycle. So of course time will tell, but the skills I learned in CPSP, I'm looking at, multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts now that, the CPSP gave me the confidence to go in there and say, look, I can handle this. I can work with these customers and bring them great solutions and start developing a relationship.
Nice. Awesome. And thank you for answering those questions, Jim. I appreciate it. And again, Jim is a very very humble, very high performing sales representative at a massive company making huge sales on a consistent basis. So thank you again, Jim. It was a pleasure to hear from you. And
I appreciate it, Rick.
Look forward to talking again soon.